This is the rookie from Oklahoma State, Justice Hill. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 31, Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. 22 yards there, a first down. Nice big gain there from Marquise Brown, first-round pick out of Oklahoma. Of course, his cousin knows a thing or two about big catches in the NFL. That's Antonio Brown. And now Hollywood hoping to carry on the family tradition of solid production at the wide receiver position. They'll go with Hill here on first down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Tight down. There you go.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's got Snead. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Ingram. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the 3rd leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. From the gun, it's Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
3rd and 2, here's Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run it with Hill. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here, back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Hill to try again. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justice Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Brings up second and 11 at the 17-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. From the gun, Jackson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the third time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
We play to win. Let's go.
Take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
You don't
down.
want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you
Now
just
you
called
can
it.
go.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think
did.
you did. But let's face it. You mentioned
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Matt Judon make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Another try after the first down sack. Goff. And it's knocked away and incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
55. Smooth. 55. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come out here. Come get some. He don't want it. Check. 50.
Out of the gun. Goff. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Hill. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And some nice running, going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams' 29. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. They'll run on first down. It's Ingram. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be a third and about 13. Jackson from the shotgun. This is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin with his first career NFL touchdown as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot down.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Kenny Young. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Yeah, let's get set lunch.
To try again after the sack. Goff over the middle, and it's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. But now it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here's Goff, being chased out left. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And an alley to run. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining.
Let's go.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Tucker with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's got some space here. Go down is a 99-yard kick return as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. They go screen. This is Ingram. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Jackson now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's 1st down. Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. To throw is Jackson, and the Rams got him. They bring him down. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And that'll bring up 4th down. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the 2nd half. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Go, 12, let's go.
Throwing on third. Goff. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on fourth down.
Mike, 55.
Hey, orbit.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Mike 55, Mike 55.
They're going to go for it. It's gone. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Miles Boykin with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Matt Judon in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
It's now 3rd down.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. Lets it go for Nelson. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Jalen Ferguson in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Crunch time, defense.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. J.J. Nelson. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are in for 6. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. Zerline now for the PAT. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
We're all about the numbers, aren't we?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. From the 17, Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Shut! Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
My 40. Here we go.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Jones. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I smell fear in that offense. Check three.
Mike 40. Exit, exit. 40's Mike. 40's Mike.
Now Jones. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Jalen Ferguson in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. Back now in Los Angeles. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Jones throwing on third and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Jones now throwing on fourth down. And an alley to run. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. Jackson, option right. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
It's now 4th down.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight.
A 30-yard attempt.
Tucker's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard
line. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guy.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On second down. It's Henderson, and he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Here's Jones on third down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Jackson. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there, first down. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on second down, Jackson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment and shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, Hill. Tackle made there by Trayvon Howard.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. They'll try to pound it in with Hill. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy, couldn't get. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. This is taken at the 3. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
On 2nd and 12, Jones flushed out right. He's going to let it fly. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Los Angeles.